Hey guys, Libby News here, and today we are playing Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. This video is gonna be a little interesting because I've done like several different recordings for it because I replayed through the main story and I've been messing around on this desktop looking at files. For the files, I believe I'll probably just explain what I did here because I haven't gotten anything like super exciting yet, but I do have like some theories. So in Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, you get this desktop basically, and you get to change your wallpaper, which is super cute. So I can show you guys all these adorable little pictures, and depending on like what you do in the game, you unlock different pictures. Like this one, you had to select the word horror during the poem game. I ended up getting the Natsuki play with me scene, which I was really excited about. I was trying to get that one, and so I got some like concept art of her that I get to look at in here. But the main interesting thing that I want to talk about before I kind of get into the side stories is the mail and some of the files. So if you go through here, there's like internal, and then there's a note. You get a note from Paula. It reads, "This is a scratch disk. Do not use it to store sensitive or permanent things. If you need access to the files from the encrypted file share, copy them to your disposable drive and plug it directly into the thin client. Do not copy them here. Rhea is working on setting up a proxy mail server so we can have proper remote communication without having to worry about the higher ups. Keep everything offline until then." From Paula. This is a scratch disk. What's a scratch disk? Scratch space is a space on the hard disk drive that is dedicated for storage of temporary user data. It is unreliable by intention and has no backup. Scratch disks may occasionally be set to erase all data at regular intervals so that the disk space is left free for future use. Okay, so this desktop is actually a scratch disk. So yeah, it gets deleted in intervals basically. So it's just kind of stuff that they want to store here in order for, I'm guessing, the higher ups to not see the stuff that is here. I don't think there's any way to really access the disposable drive. There's also some meeting notes and then test text. And then we have file copy test from disposable drive to thin client. There's like a bunch of other stuff on here. A lot of these are like unknown file types. And I tried to look through all these folders here, like, cause there's a ton of folders here to go through. I went through a lot of them. I couldn't find anything. The last thing I got was this email from I've Laster right after I beat the game. "Have a nice weekend. I'm on leave the rest of the week. Contact Ravi if you need to schedule server time. But I expect my jobs to run for a few days since we've collected so much data this week. How about we arrange a meeting to discuss the results when I return. Senior engineer at Enterprise Solutions." And when you boot up the game, you see Metaverse Enterprise Solutions like booting up. So at first I just kind of thought it was like the fake computer company since you have like a desktop and stuff, but it seems like likely you work for this company. So I was rewatching like the game theory videos about Doki Doki as well. There was this really interesting theory made by, I think, a lot of different people on Reddit, but Game Theory made a video on it that kind of explains the whole thing. The gist of the theory is that in Doki Doki Literature Club, Monika adjusts the characters' personalities in order to make them less appealing to the player, but this is weird since they're supposed to be visual novel characters that follow a predetermined script. But since she successfully does this, it implies that they might be a more complicated AI-based character, which led a lot of people to think that they might be from a different game that utilizes a more complex personality system. And there's several blatant clues that point to this through the secret poems and other game files. The first is this poem, which if you turn up the brightness all the way, you can see that it describes some very disturbing symptoms of a girl named Alyssa. The text also sounds pretty similar to how Yuri describes the story from the Portrait of Markov. Further proof comes from the character files. If you open up Natsuki's character file as a PNG, it ends up being a distorted version of this image. If you open up Monika's as a PNG, it has a binary code that you can't convert to alphanumeric text, which then you have to use base 64 on to translate. This reveals a note from Monika telling you that she feels she and the others are from another story and that the other characters are dead. She also asks you to save them alongside her. Finally, there's Sayori's file, which if you convert it to an OGG audio file and put it into a visualizer program, it will give you a QR code, which will lead you to projectlibitina.com, a website that contains a monthly examination report on a girl named Libitina. And again, the contents of this website seem to relate pretty heavily to the Portrait of Markov plot mentioned by Yuri. So because of this, a lot of people believe that this will be the next project from Team Salvato, which will feature the Doki Doki Literature Club cast and will be pretty similar to the Portrait of Markov plot. There's a lot more details to the theory, and also a decent bit of it implies that Yuri could be the villain in Project Libitina. So I really recommend you guys check out Game Theory's videos if you haven't yet. I just kind of wanted to add a quick refresher here since I'm going to be talking about it a decent bit in this Let's Play. But I'm really curious to see more about how how this like might connect to that. And I really want that game. I really want the Portrait of Markov game. And I hope we get to learn more about it, especially from these files. I just kind of want to give my general theory, kind of what's going on with the emails and the desktop. Seems like, yeah, the desktop is a scratch disk. And for whatever reason, these guys do not want their higher ups to know about what they're communicating about. I'm thinking that maybe this is like the company that created Doki Doki Literature Club, and maybe they're trying to save the characters. I don't know, something like that. It's kind of hard to know based off the little information that I have. And then this, like the meeting notes, it seems like, you know, it's kind of talking about, I'm guessing this is virtual machine environment changes. So it seems like they're kind of talking about like video game creation or some kind of virtual creation. So I'm assuming that, yeah, these people were the ones who made Doki Doki Literature Club, and maybe the ones who are also making the other game. And then it says like meeting time over. You know who went on too many tangents again. I need to be more assertive about staying focused. I'm thinking it's maybe referring to Monica here, because Monica, you know, communicates with the player a lot. She goes on quite a few different tangents. And one of the last files that the game theory video talked about was her kind of like warning the player, saying that like you could save them and like they're all dead now, and some really ominous stuff like that. I think they could be referring to that. But yeah, that's kind of where I am at with this stuff for now. My moderators did tell me that you won't be able to unlock everything until you finish the side stories. So we're gonna do the side stories first. Just kind of wanted to explain this a little bit and kind of give my thoughts on it so far, since I've already been kind of like messing around and looking at the desktop and all that. But yeah, I've heard good things about these side stories. I've heard that they really kind of go into depth more on the characters, like explaining them and their backstories more. So I'm really excited to learn more about them. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Trust, part 1, Monica Sayori time. Okay, I'm excited. All the characters are so likable in this game. Am I still gonna be the generic pro tag guy though? He was the only character that wasn't super likable. Everybody else I liked a lot though. Oh, hey, that's new. Vending machine, soccer tryouts, bake sale, music concert. Let's see. Okay, everyone. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention this, but it said that these are unconnected to the main game story too. I'm curious if Monica's gonna be all-knowing again or not. I'm always God weeby, don't worry about it. Okay, everyone, the literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I miss debate club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica is the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. Oh yeah, she wouldn't actually be all-knowing. I'm not God yet, weeby. Because in the main game, she mentioned she has like an epiphany like right at the beginning. So it seems like this would be like before her epiphany. But then again, it did say these aren't connected, so I'm probably overthinking this. But I just wanted to explain that in case anybody was wondering. Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody is into literature enough to pick it over their other club interest. Just put cute girls. There is one cute girl in this club. That'll get more people interested. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. A vision. But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. But before she realized it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. She can take a nap. Sleepy. Hello? Probably Sayori. Ah, yay, the best girl. Suddenly a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I never do this. Is this the napping club? I want to join. No, this is... Monica suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is in fact the literature club. This is the literature club. Yay, I thought I was wrong for a sec. I'm super sorry. It was like so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize. I do that all the time. Oh. Did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, I'm kind of the only one. This is everybody. Really? Just you? We're getting more members and we're working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. So this is how she becomes vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? You don't even have any members. What kind of qualifications do I need? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really, really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too.
Oh no! I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you.
I'd really like to know more about Sayori and like how she got, you know, her depression and stuff like that. I love Sayori. I can relate to her a lot. She's so sweet, dude. I wanted to save her so bad in the main story, dude.
And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president.
I mean, I'm sure that Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least?
Well, no. I want to join now.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working.
I'm kind of surprised you can't get members since she's supposed to be like so popular. So beautiful and so popular. Because it's what I always said in like the original one. I just wrote that in the script, Weeby.
Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so...
Oh, Sayori, always trying to make other people happy. Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way.
Monica! That's such a cool name.
Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up.
But you're smiling.
Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it.
So what do we do first?
Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members.
I can do that.
Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought to my vision for the club. You know, like a mission.
My mission is to make everyone happy.
Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it.
Hey, do you like hugs?
I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug, then let's go.
Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides,
Sayori's so freaking sweet. Sayori whispers loudly.
Hug energy is what keeps me at my best.
Hug energy? Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people.
Yeah, me too. I'm telling you guys, just put cute girls in the flyer. That's all you need. That's how Protag Man signed up. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayori, to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room, but she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. Oh yeah, she always oversleeps. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining? No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. I guess this is after school ends, but I guess it makes sense that she would do it last minute anyways, because she was just kind of like that. Just kind of always did stuff last minute. I guess it's hard for her to have like a motivation since she's depressed. And then she just kind of plays it off as her being like disorganized and stuff. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper.
Sorry, I'm late. I'm here.
It's okay. Welcome back. I'm curious to see what their first poems are. And it's going to be interesting to see Monica's poems that aren't about breaking the fourth wall. Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet into Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Oh, take my hand. Take my hand. Take me forward. I kind of expected to have like spilled juice on it.
I just wrote this 2 minutes ago.
Take my hand. Take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step so I can't look back on my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Aw, is this to Monica?
Take my hand. Let's start a club together.
Aw, she's so cute. Yeah, I think that's what it's about. She's just like, I trust you, Monica, to set up the club. Cute. It's nice to not have so many dark, ominous meanings behind these poems. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori?
Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper.
Huh?
I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed.
Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now, do you write poetry often?
I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good at it as you are.
Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be, or something like that.
Aw, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president.
I guess you're not wrong there. I need to like set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that.
Doing what?
You know, like sharing poems we write and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually, but you can write when it's in a poem, right?
Yeah, I love the fact that they use poems for this game too. Like for the main story, I was thinking about that. It's so creative to have like poems, which like, you know, you kind of have to like analyze to understand like its true meaning. And so there's like a lot of different meanings that they add to the poems, you know, whether it be like learning more about Sayori's depression or Monica's kind of fourth wall thing. But then there's like even more when you dig in and like you kind of look at those like deeper theories about it being related to like the portrait of Markov and stuff like that. It was like definitely the perfect kind of like theme for this game. I feel like having so many layers to it, you know, and so many things to like analyze. It's always so fun to get new poems, especially like the secret poems. I'm like, oh, there's more, more to dig into. So it's super fun. I was thinking about that when I was replaying the main game. I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So I'm glad you showed me, well, even though it was by accident.
Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future.
I love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together?
My brain stormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster.
This is getting deep. Sayori, that's terrible. Anyways, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes.
I was hungry, but it's a good idea, isn't it?
Let me think about this. I mean, when will we have the chance to give people cupcakes?
You know, like when they come into the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers?
That definitely get a lot more people, that's for sure. The thing you do in high school, it's always just like free pizza whenever you want somebody to show up. I'm like kind of worried that would bring the wrong kind of people though, you know?
Wrong kinds?
People would just come for the cupcakes and then leave.
Nobody would do that.
Everybody would do that.
That would be so mean.
But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list, hunt for people reading books. That's probably how they found Yuri. Find the weirdos who don't talk to anybody else and just read books all day. I don't think I get it.
Like going around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch, and we tell them to check out the literature club.
Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How do we know if they're just reading for fun?
Well, we could ask them. But then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. Sorry.
Yeah, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I'd definitely like to start doing that.
I'm useful!
I never said you weren't. I just need to think, what would we tell people when we're handing them out? I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people.
What if you told them about the club activities and stuff?
What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm a weirdo.
But that's why we love you, Sayori. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club?
Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club.
What the heck?
Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Generic protag man.
Okay, what if I said that we like do a group reading and discuss it together?
I would probably nap through that.
That's you, Sayori.
Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyways. We need to really catch their interest, you know?
Ugh, this sucks. Why is this so hard?
Monica, don't be sad.
What do you like about literature, Sayori?
Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like intimate.
Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self.
Be intimate with us.
Oh no. Okay, that's kind of giving the wrong impression, Sayori.
I'm just kidding. Oh my god! I just realized what I said.
What is it?
I forgot all my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me.
Rush, but weren't. Never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then?
I'll forget it. I'll forget if I don't do it now.
Well, I'll wait for you then.
Okay, it'll only take a second.
Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her notes on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Oh, wow, that's lame. Monica! Ah, you startled me.
Sorry, but it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book.
Reading a book?
Let's hurry and recruit her.
Wait, are you sure she's not just doing some homework?
I could tell she was really into it. It looked like a really creepy book too. Kind of familiar for some reason too. I don't know why.
That's weird. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom with Sayori leading the way.
This way.
You don't have to run. Sayori leads Monica over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper.
See, in here.
Monica peers through the window. Sure enough, there was a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this.
You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I'd probably scare her away. I'm pretty scary.
But not as scary as Buff Suki. If only there was a Buff Suki side story. Or Buffski, is that how you'd pronounce it? I think that might be more right. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom.
That was fast.
Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
Why, what happened?
Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and then walked out.
That's kind of cute.
Maybe it wasn't Yuri then.
But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club.
I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the club room, Sayori feeling rather accomplished and Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list, and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than from where they began.
Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this?
Sayori peers at the sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself.
Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart? That's so cute!
I thought it was a little too overdramatic, but Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment.
You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What do you mean? Like, I don't know, I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong.
Yeah, but
would you call yourself a perfectionist?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. I feel that. I am too. It's like, I can relate to that, always worried about doing something wrong. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want to do things, or how I want things to go. And it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at that. So I'm just really afraid of it deviating from that. The vision.
What's the vision?
It's... Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Write the way into your heart.
I think what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course. But I'm here to help you.
Monica returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner, and the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home?
You tell me, you're the president.
In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow.
Me too.
Sayori beams and grabs her things. It's kind of nice to learn more about Monica, you know, like her personality. I could definitely relate to being a perfectionist. I don't know, it's like, I feel like it's a good thing, but for me, it's also been kind of like detrimental because like, I don't know, it's like whenever I don't live up to my exceedingly high expectations, like I get really bummed out, and then that kind of leads to me not wanting to like try at all, which leads to me being like depressed. But that's just my experience with it. I don't know if that's like similar to her experience as well, but yeah, it's nice to learn at least like a little bit more about her besides like kind of the fourth wall breaking stuff that we see in the main story. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I need a few minutes still.
Oh, I can wait.
That's all right. I just want some alone time.
In that case,
Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monica.
good luck.
Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the club room. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that, because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in, the person who's forced to be perfect. So you do kind of feel the same way that I do about like perfectionism. Poor Monica. I feel like she can relate to Sayori a lot then, because Sayori also has to put on like a happy face to help others, but now she can kind of like be herself with literature. I feel like they both kind of can express themselves more with that. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Aw. Become the flower. A feeling of joy. It's a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment. Yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, pluck, pluck. So pretty in my hair. Pluck, pluck, pluck. You're going to die. And you too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy, and that is why I've decided I must become the flower. Aw. So yeah, it seems like she's comparing herself to the flower. How like the flower makes her happy, but she has to kill it in order to receive that happiness. And Sayori feels like the flower. She's being kind of like yanked because she's putting on this happy persona, but she dies a little bit every time. She has to be plucked, basically. That's what I'm getting from this, at least. Poor Sayori. I do feel like they definitely can relate to each other, though. You know, for sure. Based off of what, you know, Monica was saying a second ago. What the? Wait. Sayori? Aw, learning more about her. Oh, hey. Okay, I guess that was the end of that side story. Hold up, I got new mail too. And new pictures. Let's look at this. Side stories. Oh, so you're just gonna talk about Doki Doki now? Okay, Rhea Vorte. You were the person in the other one, right? Paula talked about Rhea, working on setting up a proxy mail server. Okay, Rhea, what do you got to say? Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the control simulation. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to do so oh my god, you're actually just talking about them now. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connections to the VM. Just to clarify, all the recordings labeled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a little from those in VM1, even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect for some of Monica's more fundamental changes? Or is it a result of her just messing around with the other characters in VM1 as her own experiment or for fun? So if I'm keeping track, we have what, like 5 different universes in total, with 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monica, of course. It's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is the real universe, but in reality, they all are. As real as ours is, anyways. Oh, interesting. I was wondering, like, I guess the importance of saving them too. Is this like related to some kind of like, I don't know, like other parallel reality or, you know, I guess different universe? Because I was like, if they're being created as video game characters and we have to save them, but it's like they're video game characters, it's gonna turn to like some Black Mirror stuff. I guess I could see it being kind of like that, where it's just like a super like intelligent AI where it's like you're practically hurting like a human because it's like the AI is like so intelligent, you know what I mean? I could see that being the case. Well, it said the side stories don't connect, but it seems like, you know, according to this, it kind of does in its own way, because it's like they're having to hide Monica's elevated permissions in order to, I guess, you know, have these side stories. Because it seems like they're saying it's, you know, being affected by the butterfly effect of Monica screwing around with the original game. So it seems like these are, you know, control simulations they're putting the characters into to kind of like see what happens. I guess maybe they did this before and that created the literature club in the first place. And then we kind of like, you know, pop in at the beginning of Doki Doki, but maybe they did some kind of simulation before that we didn't see. And they're like running it again. And now they're seeing that, oh, it's a little bit different than like the first time we ran it. I could see that being the case. And then, yeah, it seems like there's 5 different universes and 3 or 4 of them have been destroyed by Monica already. So I guess they keep trying to do this whole simulation, but Monica keeps becoming self-aware. And maybe they're trying to do it or trying to do more where she doesn't become self-aware, or I guess none of the characters become self-aware. Because there was that one with Sayori where she became self-aware, like at the end after you beat the game. And she, like, once she became the president, she was like,
I know everything. I'm God now.
It's interesting though. I don't know if I'm totally deciphering this right though. Okay, well, I will leave it at that for now. Pictures. Okay, cool. We got this one. Finish the side story, trust one. And this one too, cute. Oh, a poem from Sayori, distributed at special events in the past. Acquire all of Sayori's other poems. There was once a ladybug. It was so small, it took a really long time to crawl from here to there. It was very tiring to fly for too long. Nobody squishes ladybugs because they're cute. Does that make them better than other bugs? Do ladybugs know they're cute? I think they're too preoccupied with bug things. Instead, the ladybug crawled around and did bug things. The story wasn't really going anywhere, but I know you don't mind. I hope you think it's nice for being there anyways. Like ladybugs. Like this ladybug, the one who clings like a doof onto your sleeve because it knows you won't squash it. If it doesn't bug you, will you stay a while? I don't know. That's cute. I don't really know if I totally understand the meaning though. I don't know. I might think on this a little bit longer before I try to decipher it too much. I kind of want to look around and see what other new stuff we have too. But it was cute. Oh, it's a new classroom. This morning sun. Okay, side story 2. Trust, part 2. Oh, it's so nice seeing everybody interact. I like it. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hadn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time, I didn't think to ask her about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the classroom with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern.
Monica, is everything okay?
I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend.
Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly.
What are you talking about?
As she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization.
I left my folder here.
Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response.
I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that.
But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be there for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. Aw, poor Sayori, dude.
This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So,
just wants to like to be distracted, I guess.
If you do this,
I remember like with the protagonist too, she was always saying like, oh, I'm not worth like being, you know, worried about and stuff like that. She just like thinks so low of herself too.
If you do this, then you're just being selfish.
Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. But as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy.
No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine.
Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something?
Promise you what?
Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart, or whatever. Whatever that cheesy catchphrase was. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently.
I promise if you promise.
Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile. I promise.
Me too.
As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry?
Huh? But what about recruitment?
It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. Yeah, Sayori seems like she's got a really natural talent for it. I guess we haven't seen any of Monica's poems yet, though. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know?
There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much.
You're really talented, Sayori, come on.
I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything.
That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems.
Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you.
Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good.
It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of.
Yeah, I think like starting's always the hardest part for me too. I could definitely see that.
And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later.
It's like, oh my god, that's like me with writing scripts. I always put it off so much. I hate writing scripts because I always feel like it needs to be perfect. But yeah, I've just learned like you just gotta write it down and correct it later.
It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in it and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like the only way, but it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning.
Yeah, I do agree. That helps me so much with like analysis video scripting for sure. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. I'm just kidding. Monica scribbles out you idiot after she writes it down.
No, keep it.
What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot?
Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want.
I was just, well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica writes, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the same exact thing anyways. This is gonna take some getting used to.
I believe in you.
Thanks, I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monica continues to exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Phew. Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating.
I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems.
Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language.
Yeah, let's do it!
Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. It's a little sad that they don't actually get new members from the flyers, though. I'm assuming it's just through like their interactions with Sayori and Natsuki that they, finally join. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Yay, cute. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one to the club room. With her printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely, common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from the students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints, and delivering them with conviction. Yeah, it seems like she would be really good at that since she's a perfectionist. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself, for real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her fingers across it. As she does, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica! Just move your hand! Monica writes, "This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain." Ah, that's cool. I like that, though. That's, like, artistic in its own way, though. Kind of like she literally just makes stains because she can't write anything because she, wants it to be perfect so bad. I think that's a cool poem. Maybe that's when she starts learning to, like, want to use the space on the paper and stuff like that more. Because I feel like it does a good job of illustrating her point. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today.
I'm here.
Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stops for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk.
Bad day?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Aw. Wonder what happened with her.
You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think.
Kind of lags for a second sometimes. I guess maybe it's supposed to show that they're, like, pausing. I'm not really sure. I might edit those out. I'm not totally sure. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down and stares at it for a while. I kind of liked it.
Can I trust you?
Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Aw. Oh no, it's gonna be sad. Aw. Sometimes I want to die.
No, Sayori. Don't be sad, Sayori.
Sayori.
This is really, really hard for me.
Her voice shakes.
So, if I can do it, then you can too.
Aw, being vulnerable for her.
Because you're like a million times better than me.
That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself.
That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop.
Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday.
I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you. More than I'm scared.
At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. Aw, probably like panicking, some having like a panic attack maybe. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I can't imagine how stressful that would be to share that with somebody.
I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier just to smile and help everyone else be happy.
I really want to know what like made Sayori have like such low confidence, you know what I mean? She just like thinks so badly of herself.
It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy.
But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing.
It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that.
Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past.
I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone.
Sayori pauses again, her solemn her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too?
I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself, too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence and our friendship doesn't have to change.
Oh, you're so cute, Sayori. Oh, don't cry.
It's silly, the club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me.
Aw, cute. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave, I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Aw. Ah, cute! Yay! I was wondering if we were gonna get some new, new CGs. Aw. Poor Sayori. These look good, too. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Though their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thought swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, oh, it's a new song, too. Monica realizes that all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. I think it's a new song. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice.
I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me.
She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek.
I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me and I hate it, I hate it.
The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest.
I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away. And now I'm making you put up with me and I just want to die.
Aww. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them like any good friend would do. You have so much value. To me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Aw, it's so cute seeing their friendship. I know that this is like, I guess, a different simulation, but I think according to the email, it seemed like, I don't know, like maybe, you know, similar stuff happened in the past. It's like, making me sad to see how like close Monica is with Sayori and then like, you know, what she did in the main game that I'm assuming, you know, would take place after something similar to this would have happened in a previous simulation. If my theories or what I'm like interpreting is right, even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what brought you here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. Aww. That's sweet. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once their breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Yeah, you like hugs too, you said at the beginning.
Some days are harder than others.
Well, I'm here whenever you need me, but any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are, if that's what makes you happy.
Thanks. You're the best.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods.
It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people.
Yeah. Well, of course, it will always be your choice. If you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you.
Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would.
Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches.
Wow, that made me tired and hungry.
I love that sprite, it's so cute. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it.
No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy.
Monica smiles.
but I might want to get a snack first.
All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. Oh, it is Yuri, I guess. A face that seems familiar. Yay, the new one. Oh, I didn't get any more mail. No, I want more mail. I guess I just got some, the new poems. Yeah, it's probably just the poems. Oh yeah, and of course this. A scene from the side story Trust. Aw, because they trust each other. That's so freaking cute. But yeah, it does make me sad. It's like, man, Monica in some other, you know, simulation does, like, you know, betray her so hard. But I guess it's like she didn't really realize that they also maybe have intelligent AI like she does. It's just like she was the first to, like, you know, recognize it. Man, she must have been like in tremendous pain. I guess she just realized that, yeah, everything was worthless because she was like, we're all NPCs. Nothing matters anymore. It doesn't matter if I make them kill themselves. I'm guessing VM1 might be like the main story too. I guess like the first run. Because it does talk about her messing around with the characters. I guess it says that she does it in like 3 or 4 of them. But I assume it would be VM1 that they're referring to. But that makes sense too, because it's like the side stories are kind of connected in the whole like lore of everything, but not, you know, directly connected to like the main story of the VM1, I'm assuming. Understanding, part 1. Begin the side story. I like how they did this though. It's really creative. It's nice too, because yeah, I'm glad it like still kind of connects to the overall lore somehow. It's just not like directly connected, you know, to the VM1, as I guess I'll refer to it now. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monica and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Aw, you're so cute, Yuri. I wish you weren't probably evil in the other game. Well, maybe she's not, but the theory did make her seem pretty suspicious. I was like so suspicious of her playing through the main story again. It's like overanalyzing like all of her dialogue. Like, bring up the third eye, Yuri. I know you want to talk about it. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Monica.
It's her, it's the girl.
It's true, the girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in a classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside. And she's probably happy that there's only like 2 other members, honestly. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail, containing her excitement. Yeah, it's kind of be interesting to know more about why Yuri's so shy, too.
It's happening! Oh my gosh!
Thank you so much for coming. Sorry, it's a little empty. I'm Monica, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club, even though it's just us so far. But what's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club.
Already?
Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh, do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down.
So, what's your name?
Yuri.
I'm Sayori, and this is Monica.
Sayori, I already... Nice to meet you. I already did that, but it's okay. You're cute. I'll let it slide. Do you like fantasy?
Like books?
Yuri looks at Monica. Fantasy is cool. I've never read anything, though. Yes, have you heard of Annabelle Dupont? I can't say I have. Oh, well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books, I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Was that the person who wrote the Eye of Markov? I wonder if that's even gonna get mentioned in this. I wanted to. I want to know more about it. Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help.
I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great.
I am so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you.
I probably only need to bring 1 for now.
Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the books that Yuri set down on her desk. True.
Can we start with like some picture books or something maybe? Some Dr. Seuss, I don't know. It was a little too big for me.
True, okay. I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have like no experience with fantasy except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably like a joke compared to what she's into. I read like the first paragraph of Harry Potter one time. Does that count?
I'm sure it'll be fine. I read the second paragraph in Harry Potter, so we're good. That's the only fantasy book out there, right? In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that?
Monica, don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I just got really anxious all of a sudden. She gives me bad vibes.
It's because of all the theory videos you watch. Oh wait, am I talking to Weeby now? I guess so. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead.
What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori.
I like learning what makes people happy or sad.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel more comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her.
Yay, that's exactly what I want to do. Besides,
Sayori lowers her voice.
I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. This book's freaking huge. It took me like a day to read that one paragraph in Harry Potter. Jesus.
She taps her finger against the dottingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which combined with her short time gone, indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She's so cute and dorky. She's so excited. So excited to share her creepy little books. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal in size to the one already on Yuri's desk. I will give you 1 hour to read this whole thing.
Oh my god!
Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Maybe slightly foreshadowing or, paralleling this since it talks about, different universes that these characters are in.
You're overthinking things, Weeby.
Sayori nervously interjects.
Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. I think, if we're gonna be reading together, then it would be like that.
From across the room, Monica smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down and looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add.
So, what made you decide to want to join the club?
Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glanced over at Monica. Monica came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk. It was really weird. Suddenly Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid. I got too nervous and couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It was really freaking awkward. It took me several days just to come here because I was afraid that Monica told everyone how inconsiderate I was. But I decided that was probably irrational. Wait. No, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interrupt things at the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time.
That makes me happy. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come.
Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same things as I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that.
What kind of things are you into?
Like genres?
I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature.
Just things you would think are dumb. Oh, she's talking about the cutting. Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face. I want to know more about that too, because Monica said it was just a sexual thing. I thought maybe it was explained more in the main story, but I feel like that was the only real reference to it that I saw when I was replaying it again. But yeah, I was just surprised. I thought that there was more of an explanation in the main story to it, other than what Monica said, because Monica did say that, but I feel like she was trying to make them look bad, so there could be another reason why she does it, Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face.
How about I tell you about something I'm into, then you can tell me about something you're into.
I suppose that would be okay.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty into like crafty things, like making cute little collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends, but then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into.
You sound quite creative.
Not that much. It's just that you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff.
So I have to share something that I'm into now, right? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature?
I love nature! Monica, I'm gonna start a nature club! It's gonna be at the same time as a literature club, except we're gonna have pizza and cupcakes!
Screw you, Sayori. And this is why I make you kill yourself later. And no, you're not. You're stuck with me now.
Am not!
Oh yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as Vice President of the Literature Club. There, now you're stuck with me.
Hey, don't give me responsibilities! Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods or to the park, just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while.
When do you like to do that?
It just depends on my mood. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continue their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monica chiming in every now and then as well. Monica had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own book, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So are you two going to be starting on that book the next club meeting?
That's the plan.
I'm so excited. Sayori beams, Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monica with a gentle smile.
Bye!
As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monica are left in the club room. Sayori, you're a lifesaver.
I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still, besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels nice when I can just put my energy towards other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. Yeah, it's cute that Yuri seems so excited about joining the club. I wasn't really sure exactly how apprehensive she would be about, hanging out with them because she seems like so shy. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting?
I'm kind of scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. The cover looked kind of creepy too. It had like this big eye on it.
I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Do 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 do. The music's so good. Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room.
It's club time again! Monica went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay?
Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday.
What?
Sayori tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about just kind of like a little kid sometimes, who gets like super excited about her interests. I understand, because like when I was a kid, I was made fun of a lot for like liking anime and stuff. So like whenever I found somebody who was like even remotely interested in it, I would get like super excited and like super overbearing about it. So I can definitely relate to that. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so...
Ah, Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were.
Well, still, I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it.
Huh? Why?
Because I know that you were just humoring me anyways. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested.
But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing.
I've already decided I'll join the club so you don't have to try so hard to entice me.
That's not what I was doing.
Sayori just likes making people happy, A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them.
Awkward. Well, the thing is, we don't really have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I have just been working on recruitment stuff, mostly.
Oh, oopsie.
So it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. Like a club activity. That would be okay, right?
Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this.
You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here.
Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book.
Desk bell. Aw, man. I was like, Portrait of Markov.
No, I wanted it to be that one. It's okay. It's okay. I'll live.
Desk bell. Part 1 of the Everlast saga. It's Desk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now.
Oh, right, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper.
Wait, how come you need paper?
Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes. Oh my gosh, some of those books, like I tried to read Game of Thrones, instead of watching the show a little bit, I was getting so confused on the names. I think they did have like a family tree, like in the book somewhere that you could look at, but I was still just like, it's hard to imagine faces for all these people. There's so many characters.
No, it's, yeah, that's an effective strategy.
Exactly, I'm sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head, but thinking about it, she decides that it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible.
I trust you. You're like super smart.
Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and a light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you.
No!
Sayori rubs her shoulder against Yuri's.
You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy.
I'm always being shy. Anyways, would you like to get started?
Okay.
After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, factions, histories, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards.
How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do.
What kind of writing?
Oh, like poetry and stuff. The things I write are just like putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work.
Oh, you're into poetry? I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs.
No way!
Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. Aw, it means Yuri must be having fun. Anyways, I think we can get started reading now if you're ready.
Okay, but I can't read very fast.
Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in.
I see.
Sayori jots, Yuri is patient as her notes. Hey, that's for the book.
I'm just kidding. But I'm kind of glad you're patient because I need that sometimes. A lot of times.
Sayori flips to the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents.
Okay, chapter 1.
The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read, but the silence only lasts for a moment before Sayori speaks up again.
What does vindicated mean?
Oh, hey, that's one of her poetry words in the minigame. Well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent.
It's okay to ask questions, right?
Of course. Sayori turns the page.
Are these footnotes?
A lot of dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned.
Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present?
Where?
Right here.
They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having.
But they didn't tell me that.
It's implied from the context. You fucking idiot.
Hey!
Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking for fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. That's kind of what I figured. That's what I would do too. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now.
Okay.
Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So what are your thoughts up to this point? Sayori tries to find words. I don't really know what's going on. Am I doing okay so far? Huh? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and keep doing my best so I can see it the way that you do.
The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. Is she offended?
We can continue tomorrow, right?
Yuri pauses, then shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. What would she do to piss her off? Oh, wait. I guess she doesn't think Sayori is enjoying it as much as she does, so that's why she's upset. Or I guess she maybe feels like she's like patronizing her. She's just doing it for her, you know? We can do something else tomorrow.
But
I'm sorry.
Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Okay, that's what it was. She just felt like she was forcing her. Yuri leaves.
You weren't making me.
Sayori is left alone with her words.
How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. The only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back?
Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them.
Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. This is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough? I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would have been having so much more fun. I need to do better for her.
Aw, poor Sayori. You did your best. Yay, more mail. Character discrepancy. Lib Moosey. Having run the control system for a while, it's evident that a certain character is missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's meddling is less clumsy than we think because she would have had to manufacture this character herself as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the character as such has such limited and dissonant personality traits? Or am I reading too much into this? I'll open an issue to start tracking info and observations on the anomaly of this character appearing. Huh? Are they talking about the generic protag guy from the previous game? That's the only thing I can think of. Because they said that she had to manufacture this character herself as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. So yeah, that's probably what it means. Talking about the generic protag guy I got to play as. God, he was so cool. Could that be why the character has such limited and dissonant personality traits? That's why he's so generic. I did a really crappy job creating him. I'll open an issue to start tracking info and observations on the anomaly of this character appearing. Is generic protag gonna make an appearance again? God, I hope so. The best boy. The worst boy. Okay. Pictures. Yeah, you got the Yuri one. Okay, understanding, part 2. Begin the story. Yep, they just gotta learn to understand each other, just like the title of the story. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at the desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down.
Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. It was still my best, but I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment.
Aw, poor Sayori, dude. She beats herself up too much. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Waiting. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri or Monica. Aw. Wonder where Monica's at. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. I'm gonna leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monica rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so... Yuri? Yuri jumps to the sound of Monica's voice. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door of the club room is open. It's not... Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room, through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh, me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monica is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden when she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before? Did they not get along after all? Monica looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monica's worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic, she realizes, that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. Poor Sayori, dude. They just freaking ditch her, dude. Sayori's just like crying in the classroom. Okay, let's go print some flyers. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monica tenses up at the stinted conversation. Yuri doesn't really try very hard to make the conversation go on longer. She's very like one word, like a reply. I'm more like Sayori. I talk so much, especially like trying to get conversations going. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry, I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I was just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing her into it. Yuri falls silent again as if she started her thought but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. Huh? I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, and Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monica pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? My job as president is to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully anyways. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with a club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with? Not just only some people? Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone. Otherwise, what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monica that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Yeah, they all like different things. Okay. We need to have a manga night. Maybe not that one. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted this about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things that I'm into. Unfortunately, so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category. What? Hold on, you're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Sayori's just super nice. I think she'd be cool with whatever. She's just like, whatever, it makes you happy. I'm down. Very sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monica looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fists clenched. I think you should tell her that. I can never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. Yeah, I guess they kind of like clash in that way. Because Sayori is willing to do whatever to make people happy. She kind of disregards herself in that way. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's needs? weird needs. I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monica hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exasperating the latter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too, but friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just, it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of this cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah, Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So, thank you. Anytime. Monica smiles at Yuri. For a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monica's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Aw, cute. Yeah, these are really cute so far. Just gotta understand each other. Definitely do clash a good bit, you know, in terms of personalities. So I could see that. It's funny because, yeah, they're both, like, nice. Just don't really understand each other. Get it? Because that's the title of the side story. We got it, Weeby. We got it. It was a very easy joke to make. Really low-hanging fruit there. Yuri and Monica finished replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monica mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it, then I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monica. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. Want me to go get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own, though. So please don't worry about it. Although I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while I'm reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for the tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle or something to heat up the water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. She looks so cute when she smiles. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monica waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down. I feel so bad for Sayori, dude. She's just been in the classroom by herself the whole time. Everybody hates me. She's so like sensitive too, you know? I feel so bad for her. Monica waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Yuri! Wait, hold on. I'm not done yet. Yuri shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori had been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I guess she was like reading and making notes and stuff still. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first, but I got most of the way through it. And look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I know, I was like, she's just being nicer, but it's just gonna make Yuri more upset. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fingers against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri! Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response that she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand. So if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I'm overly nice to everybody. I just want my friends to be happy.
So I thought if we did something together that you really like.
I don't want your pity. Ooh. That's not good. Maybe calm yourself down there, Yuri. Why did I do that? Poor Sayori, dude. Yuri sinks to her knees. Her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. I feel like, I can't remember if she said something kind of abruptly to, like, Natsuki before in the main story. I feel like she might have kind of, like, snapped, you know, like that a little bit. Oh, man. I guess she was being direct, but yeah, it was kind of intense. Why is it so hard to just articulate your thought? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here, before Monica sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monica what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. Aw, cute. Aw, the new graphics look so good too. It looks so like pristine and clear, you know?
It's okay.
Sayori whispers in a soothing voice.
It's okay. It's okay.
Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Yuri's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through a clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself.
I understand. I understand that the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise, I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay?
Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. Aw, cute. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. I feel like all the characters are pretty relatable in like a lot of different ways. I feel like I can relate to all of them in like different levels, you know what I mean? I was definitely like the weird kid. The weird otaku kid who felt like a lot of people like were kind of, I don't know. I feel like when people were nice to me, I kind of thought they were pitying me too. But then I could also relate to Sayori, you know, kind of feeling like depressed sometimes, and Monica's like perfectionism. I can relate to all the characters a good bit, but I feel like they're really like well fleshed out characters, you know what I mean? And it's good to get more context on them too. I feel like their relatability makes people like really passionate about the series, which I don't know, I feel like they do a good job, a good job of it. So it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests, because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't even behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. Poor Yuri. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. I feel like Yuri can be kind of like condescending sometimes too, and like I wonder if it is because she doesn't want people to take pity on her. She kind of like has that air about her. Kind of wants to make herself feel like a little bit bigger sometimes than others because she's so insecure about like other things like her social interactions and stuff like that. So when she can feel, you know, better about herself, she kind of like with books and literature and stuff, she kind of comes off a bit elitist, but I'm not sure if she really does it on purpose. It could just be like a instinctive thing to kind of like make her feel better, you know?
Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need too.
But I feel like it would be just so frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes.
That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me.
But I would never do that. It's kind of funny, their whole misunderstanding was just them worrying about the other person, getting frustrated. But I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience.
Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right?
Yeah. Irrational fears. Aw.
Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person you are. I know you said, oh no, I accidentally skipped it. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise you that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different and have different interests. Like about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise, that's what I really want. Oops. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me enjoying it. I mean, we can never discover new things if we don't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that, but I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart. I want that to rub off on me.
Yuri fights a smile at that comment. Already the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Aw, cute! Aww.
Your hair is so pretty.
I like how the expressions change too as it goes on.
Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful taking care of it, so I cut it all off.
Cute. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Aww, that's so cute. It's nice seeing them all get, like, interactions together, you know what I mean? Because we never really saw, like, Yuri and Sayori interact, like, at all. I mean, like, compared to the other characters, you know? I mostly saw, like, Yuri and Natsuki butting heads and stuff. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading.
That's what I wanted to hear.
But we can stop at any time. If you truly do not like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended.
Of course. I'm not going to judge anything this early on, though. So we'll just see what happens.
Oh, and, it's not good to touch people without their consent first.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
Oh, you didn't? I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying.
I'm back. Monica's back. Am I interrupting a romantic moment? I haven't seen you, like, at all recently.
Sayori trots over to Monica. She whispers loudly.
Can I hug you?
Learning. Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monica. Oh yeah, it might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. I've learned.
Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster.
Yuri laughs. Monica perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as a literature club. About that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate for me to not return the favor to you and learn more about the things that you like.
Yeah. Do you like poetry?
Aw, cute. Yuri smiles. I feel like Yuri gets really into poetry in the main game too, so it seems like she likes it a good bit. Ah, cute, get organized. I believe in you. Oh, little organization. Finish the story, understanding too. Oh, it's a little Yuri doodle. Oh my god, the little S. I used to make those so much in school. Oh my gosh, I feel like that was like the coolest thing ever. In class, you're like, look what I can do. You like show it off. Even though like everybody can do it. Oh, there's Natsuki, even though she hasn't been introduced yet. In the side story universe, at least. Aw, Monica too. That's so cute. Respect. About to teach you some respect, Monica. Put some respect on manga. I guess that's probably what's gonna end up being like, they don't respect my manga. I feel you, Natsuki, I'm a weeb too. It's been several weeks since the club has officially started. Through their initial setbacks, the 3 club members so far, Monica, Sayori, and Yuri, have increased their collective bond within the club. Sayori has partaken in some of Yuri's high fantasy literature, and all 3 of them, led by Sayori, have taken an interest in poetry. One day, like any other, the 3 find themselves suddenly interrupted by the club room door opening, and in walks in a girl none of them have seen before. Hi. Sayori tugs excitedly at Monica's sleeve. New member! Oh my god! Yuri shifts in her seat and buries her eyes in her book. Are you here for the literature club? Yeah. Yay, that's great. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of a small club still, so it's really exciting to see new faces.
Yeah! Come and sit down somewhere. You can sit next to my desk.
Sayori prances over to her desk and presses her palms onto it.
Oh, and Yuri can make you some tea.
Yuri looks up at Sayori and protests for having drawn attention to her. Natsuki silently glances between everyone, then sits down next to Sayori. Monica follows by sitting nearby. The sun gathering prompts Yuri to stand up, deciding that standing in the corner and making tea does not sound so bad after all. Okay, then how about we all introduce ourselves? Okay. Well, I'm Monica. I'm the one who started the club. I was originally in the debate club, but I really wanted to do something I felt more passionate about. if that makes sense. So I started a literature club as a way for people to express themselves through writing or reading or whatever other kind of literature. You know, I figured it was your club. You have that vibe. What kind of vibe? Main character vibes. You know, like, never mind. I'm not gonna judge people I just met like that.
Very adult-like of you. I always judge people so hard.
Oh no, you don't, Sayori. Yes, she does. Yuri's deadpan voice carries across the room. Natsuki giggles.
I'm Sayori. I just like learning about everyone and making friends. Oh, and I also like poetry.
Oh yeah? Very adult-like of you. I'm an adult! The sound of Yuri's electric kettle steaming up fills the room.
Oh, that's Yuri.
Sayori lowers her voice.
She's kind of shy, but she's really nice and super smart. She likes big fantasy books and tea, and I love her.
Well, I guess that leaves me then. I'm Natsuki. I like listening to music and hanging out downtown and stuff. And my favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry.
Oh, let's get ice cream. My favorite flavor is probably
cookie dough, or maybe chocolate.
It's cookie dough.
And Monica's probably vanilla. What the heck? I take way too many online quizzes. The ice cream ones are always accurate.
What's your favorite?
Natsuki shrugs. Probably green tea. I never had green tea ice cream. I'm just joking. I have no idea for Yuri. Still, it's pretty chill here. Do you just like hang out or do you actually do club stuff? Well, we do club stuff too. It hasn't been very structured yet since we only have like 3 members, so we just kind of loosely spend our time doing stuff here we like. But I keep thinking it's about time we start with like some more structured club activities. It's been a while by now since I started the club, so yeah. Well, with that being said, what kind of literature are you into, Natsuki? Anything you'd like the club to get into?
Well, manga's literature.
Literature? Well, I like manga. Manga? Hey, why'd you say it like that?
I want to read manga in the club.
Wait, hold on a second.
That sounds so great. Like, after all, I've been doing all this,
Yuri returns to the desk with a tray of teacups, which she sets down on an empty desk.
After all the, deep and immersive, all these fucking nerd books, I just want to read some fucking manga, bro. It's a freaking Gintama. After all the deep and immersive reading I've been doing, I wouldn't mind doing something a little more simple.
Manga isn't simple. If you think that, you just don't understand the nuance. Oh my god, you're like a My Anime List reviewer. You're one of those, Natsuki. I have a really, really big My Anime List. You do not want to see it. I used to be the manga list. If you think that, you just don't understand the nuance.
Oh, I didn't mean simple like that.
Well, anyways, putting manga aside, is there any other kind of literature that you're interested in? Well, not really. In that case, have you ever considered the anime club? Are you serious? I'm not gonna join the anime club. It's got a bunch of fucking weebs in it. It's full of weird guys. Oh, come on, is it that big of a deal? Manga is literature, right? I mean, I guess if you consider the literal definition of literature, then technically, I get it. Look, but the anime club is full of like fedora wearing like anime guys are like, a girl. I'll do whatever club activities you want. Can I please just join? I won't bother anyone. If I can just like keep my manga here and hang out after school, I'll do literally whatever you want me to do. That's fine, right? That seems a little bit new. Like a little bit of a new sprite. Yeah, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Oh my god, thank you. You're the best. I have most of it crammed in my locker, so I'm gonna start getting it now, okay? Natsuki stands up. Need some help? Nah, I got it. I don't want you to see my locker.
If you say so, but there is no way it's worse than mine.
It's got a lot of husbando pictures. A lot. I hope we never find out then. Natsuki exits the club room, leaving everyone in silence, save for the sound of Yuri sipping her tea. I'm such a pushover.
Hey, it's not that bad. Natsuki seems like a lot of fun.
Maybe, but I mean, she has like no actual interest in literature, you know? And that's normally fine, but she said she would participate in club activities, like it's some kind of obligation. Her tea is going to get cold. Yeah, wait, that's not related.
Well, I think everyone deserves a chance, especially if we can bring her happiness. Besides, maybe she'll take a liking to literature.
Are you sure you don't just want to read her manga, Sayori? Hey, who do you think I am? Sorry, I didn't mean that. I just feel really uneasy about this. Do you have an opinion, Yuri? Not particularly. She said she wasn't going to bother anyone. That includes me, so...
Does that mean I bother you?
No, you're a pleasure to be around.
I was just fishing for a compliment.
I know. At least you're honest.
But still, I really think we should give her a chance.
Yeah, all right. But I really am gonna start enforcing club activities. I'm willing to cooperate. Suddenly the three of them hear a thump against the door.
What was that?
Sayori stands up and walks over to the door, then opens it.
Thank you.
Carrying 3 boxes of what is presumably manga, Natsuki grunts and wobbles inside before slowly bending over and dropping the stack onto the floor as gently as she can. That's quite a collection. Sayori giggles in excitement while catching her breath. Natsuki replies,
There's still one more box. I can put them away myself. I know how to organize them.
Monika anxiously glances between Sayori and Yuri. Is this really okay for the club? Maybe it's what she needs to really kick the club into gear before everyone gets too complacent. It seems like things are finally going to start getting more serious. I guess I was never really in clubs too much, as in like high school and stuff. I was in like theater club, but we were like super disorganized. I was like, you just kind of did whatever you wanted to, really. At the next club meeting, Monika is the first to arrive. But ever since Natsuki joined, she feels a lot less relaxed. I think I went to like a debate club once, and that one was like really structured. But yeah, theater club was just kind of like this. It was like, just read whatever play you want to do, or do improv or whatever. I don't care. But ever since Natsuki joined, she feels a lot less relaxed. Why am I so nervous? Monika paces, trying to figure out her feelings. Natsuki said she wasn't going to bother anyone, so why does it feel like the atmosphere has changed so much? While Monika thinks, the club door opens, revealing Natsuki carrying a book. Monika forces a smile as Natsuki makes her way to the closet. Natsuki forces one in return. She's just gonna hide in the closet? Need help?
No, I got it.
Monika awkwardly tries to start some kind of conversation, but fails. Curious, she peeks into the closet where Natsuki is stashing all of her manga. Once dull with school supplies, the shelves are now vibrant with bright colors and cute-looking artwork.
You know, the top shelf is pretty empty. Maybe we could keep it up there? I can't reach up there. That would be so inconvenient.
Yeah, but Monika sighs. The teachers are going to ask what all this manga is doing in here, and I have to tell them it's for the literature club.
So?
Monika backs off and slumps into a desk. With this kind of tension, it feels like the relaxed atmosphere accumulated over the past weeks is being sucked right out of the room.
Good afternoon! Good afternoon!
Why'd you say it like that? Sayori spins into the club room.
Oh, I see someone's in a good mood. Yeah, because I have this.
Sayori brandishes a cookie wrapped in plastic.
I found some money and got a cookie. Oh, that's so pretty.
Sayori trots over to the closet. The colorful shelves catch her eye.
Which one do I start with? Well, you can start by giving me a bite of that cookie. No way! I saved up all my luck to find that money. If you want entry into my kingdom, you need to pay the tax, peasant. Boo!
Oh, they're so cute. They do seem like their personalities like match a decent bit. Defeated, Sayori unwraps her cookie and breaks off a piece for Natsuki. Then Yuri silently walks into the club room. Monika glances at her with pleading eyes. Yuri returns a quick nod of understanding. Well, everyone's here now. Despite the club only having one more person than before, it somehow feels twice as lively. Okay, so I think today we should go over some potential club activities and see which ones we want to do first. We have our 4 members now, so it would be great if we found some stuff to do as a group. Does that sound good to everyone? I agree. Okay, so I have some ideas of my own, but I want to hear your ideas too.
Well, I've been having a lot of fun learning about everyone else's interests. Maybe we can give each person a day to share their favorite kind of literature with everyone else?
Well, maybe, except for manga. Something tells me that. Do you hate weebs, Monika? I used to bully anime nerds. Monika glances at Yuri and Natsuki, who both appear very unwilling to even consider each other's interests. Maybe we can try to come up with something that everyone can equally enjoy. You know, like we have a vote on a book to read or something like that. I think we should all collectively try to expand our interests rather than just stick to the things we're familiar with. Why does it feel like I'm being targeted here? Natsuki, didn't you say that you would go along with whatever the club wanted to do?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it okay for you to ignore everyone else's preferences. I liked Sayori's suggestion. Yeah, me too. It was my suggestion after all.
Yeah, but I feel like Natsuki is very harsh with her words. She's very blunt, I think would probably be the better word for it. But I guess I could see why Monika's backing down so easily. I feel like Natsuki, yeah, she just says what she means and she means what she says. She's very blunt. Monika's voice trails off. Although she let Natsuki join the club, Monika finds it incredibly difficult to relate to her demands. I do think she should be more understanding or like more I don't know, kind of like open to the idea of considering manga to be literature. I mean, I was kind of making fun of the My Anime List people, but there is a lot to analyze when it comes to like anime and manga. I guess it'll have a lot of depth to it, even if it is. I was just kind of joking because like, I don't know, I do see some people that get like really elitist about like anime. That's kind of why I stopped watching it so often. It's mostly on My Anime List. Yeah, people get like so elitist about like, my taste is superior. No, my taste is superior. And it was like, oh, like just enjoy what you enjoy, you know? I don't like to take stuff like so seriously, I guess. Although she let Natsuki join the club, Monica finds it incredibly difficult to relate to her demands. If Natsuki doesn't respect the club, why should Monica have to yield to Natsuki's opinion on anything? Natsuki, are you sure that you don't have any other literature interests you could share with the club? I swear I don't mind if you keep your manga in here, but Natsuki cuts Monica off by suddenly standing up. Well, it's obvious that I'm not wanted here, so I'm just gonna leave. But I really would have appreciated you being more upfront about it. Okay, I think you're kind of jumping to conclusions here, but you're free to do whatever you want. Then leave. Kinda does make it seem like you want her to leave. Natsuki shoots Monica a quick glare before walking straight out of the room. Oh no! Sayori runs after her, leaving Monica and Yuri. For the second time today, Monica slumps into a desk. Why am I such a jerk? No, she's a jerk. She's making me feel this way. Monica looks up at Yuri, seeking affirmation. Yuri looks away. She probably just went around looking for the smallest club she could find so she doesn't have to participate. How does she expect me to give her respect when she has no respect for the club? Am I wrong, Yuri? I'm not good at these things. Monica sighs. Me neither. I just have no idea what to do. But I don't want to hurt anyone. But I feel like it's not wrong to enforce the club vision. You know, like, people should join because they want to express their passion for literature, at least develop it. So maybe she's not a good fit for the club after all. Monica sits in silence, afraid to accept her tentative conclusion. Yuri looks tense, but she doesn't seem to want to add anything. You can go back to reading. I know this doesn't concern you. It does. It does? How? Well, I just can't comfortably read in an atmosphere where peace has been disturbed. Oh, well, great. I'm just ruining the whole club then. That's not an accurate conclusion to make. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of voicing my frustration and I guess guilt. It's like my frustration wants to blame her, but my guilt wants to blame me. Why is it the hardest to be rational during the times you need it the most? I don't think you're being irrational. I think Natsuki is. She has no authority to walk in here and make demands of the club, your club. Something as ridiculous as manga has no place here. The fact that you're even storing it for her should make her completely indebted to you. Well, you're right, but I don't know. Isn't it kind of harsh to say things like it's ridiculous and it has no place here? Do you not feel the same way? You've been doing everything you can to avoid associating the club with it, so I assumed you felt the same way about it. I guess I can understand Monica wanting like teachers and stuff to take the club seriously, you know, and they'd be like, oh, you're just slacking off, Monica. I thought this was a literature club. But I mean, there is definitely a lot of manga that's like really well thought out, you know. I definitely read manga or watched anime that I would consider to be like a masterpiece, you know. So I assumed you felt the same way about it. That's not true. Well, recalling her confrontations with Natsuki, a realization starts to set in. You may be right. I mean, if it was anything besides manga, would I really be acting like this? Maybe I've just been convincing myself that it has nothing to do with her manga. But I'm really upset that I couldn't let myself do that. With a sigh, Monica walks over to the closet. She finds herself staring at the colorful shelves. This really wasn't what I had in mind for a club about literature. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Monica starts defending her position once again. It's a complicated issue that Monica had failed to consider before now. Where is the line even drawn at what's considered literature? Lost in thought, she reaches into one of the larger box sets and pulls out a volume, inspecting it for no particular reason. The cover features 4 girls striking cute and exaggerated poses, all dressed in short skirts. Parfait girls. Yeah, I mean, amused by the absurdity of the cover, Monica opens the book. She gets really into it. Starts a cosplay group and everything. Oh, no new mail? No, I wanted there to be new mail. Man. Oh well, at least we have new pictures. Monica is literature. Oopsie, said that one wrong. I guess that's the only new thing I got so far. Hey, let's continue. Okay, cool. This sucks. Why is Monica just a jerk? She should be grateful that I even joined her stupid club. It's not like she can find any other members, loser. Monica's usually really nice. I don't know why she's being like this. She cares so much about everyone in the club being happy. Yeah, right. Well, she usually does. Maybe when she's not being so judgmental. So what if I'm into manga?
Why can't just one person accept that instead of being so condescending about it? I accept it. I think it's cute. Oh no, she's not gonna like that. Oh, come on, that's condescending too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just want to support you.
Natsuki sighs.
I know, thanks. It just really sucks. Do you want me to talk to Monica? I don't know. It's not like it's gonna change her opinion of me. Like, even if you were to convince her to back off, that wouldn't suddenly make me feel like I'm actually welcome in the club. I should just find another club. Wait, you don't have to do that. We can figure this out, please. I mean, I'm the vice president, or at least I think I am. I don't really do anything, but I have the title, and I don't want you to leave. Everyone deserves to feel welcome and to be happy, so I want to make that happen for you. I was wondering, what was the reason that you decided to join the literature club?
Well, Natsuki hesitates.
It's kind of dumb. Oh, don't say that. There's no such thing as a dumb reason when everyone is welcome.
I wasn't welcome.
You were to me, so... just don't tell anyone, okay? Especially Monica. I promise.
She's gonna talk about her dad, maybe.
Natsuki sighs. I'm just tired of everyone judging me all the time. I can't enjoy any of the stuff I'm into without people making snotty comments about it.
Kind of like the Amy Likes Spiders poem that she wrote about herself.
Not that I care about what anyone else thinks. But you know, the signs for the literature club said that you can be yourself or whatever. So I decided it was at least worth a shot. But that was a lie, apparently. Natsuki dejectedly kicks the toe of her shoe against the wall. Oh, and I like writing too. Really? How come you didn't say that to Monica? Because she was being so judgmental that I didn't just want to tell her something she wanted to hear. She didn't deserve that kind of satisfaction. And if she knew I was into writing, then she would just be like everyone else and try to push me away from the manga in favor of more mature things. The two of them remain silent for a while. Sayori understands that it's out of the question for Natsuki to return to the club room for today at least. But Natsuki has a reason for wanting to join the club, just like everyone else. It's part of the club vision for her to be welcome. You deserve to express yourself just as much as everyone else does. That's supposed to be what the club is for. So, I'm gonna do everything I can to fix this. I promise.
Aw, Sayori's so nice. Poor Natsuki though. I feel bad for her that like both Monica and like Yurei are so like I don't know, condescending about her interests. At least Sayori is trying to welcome her even if she didn't say exactly the right thing that she wanted to hear.
Oh, you like manga? That's so mature and suave of you. So mature of you, Natsuki.
And now I just know you're lying. It's lunchtime the next day. The cafeteria and hallways are bustling with students rushing to meet with their friends and make the most out of their limited break time. Where could she be? Among them is Monica, who always eats lunch in her classroom, but she has some additional business today. Fearing Natsuki would avoid coming to the club, Monica decided to try to find her during lunch so that she could make amends. After searching for an extensive time, Monica finally spots her. Despite her short stature, Natsuki's bright hair helps her stand out from the crowd. Oh gosh. Suddenly, feeling awkward, Monica is afraid to get close. Natsuki is with some friends whom Monica doesn't recognize, and they're all energetically chatting together. It would be really tactless to just interrupt them. Oh, are we gonna get new characters at all? Oh yeah, did you end up joining that literature club or what?
Yeah, of course I joined. Why wouldn't I? Ha, I told you she would join.
Come on, you know she only joined because you wouldn't stop giving her crap about the anime club.
I told you I never even wanted to join that stupid club with all those neckbeards.
Oh, sure.
All those guys are really creepy and smelly. It's like an anime con in there.
Well, you have to give her some credit for at least making an effort to finally grow past that trash. True. Well, congrats on finally graduating middle school, Natsuki. We're proud of you. God, these friends suck.
Shut up and just let me do my thing.
I'm just joking. We know we love you. Oh God, I had friends like that in high school that were just like, they'd be like such jerks to you. Then they'd be like, oh, we're joking. We're just kidding. We're just joking. We're your friends. And it's like, you're not joking. Yeah, once the literature club makes you a famous writer, we'll be the first ones to buy your book. What, you're gonna buy her smutty fan fiction? Well, obviously I want a signed copy.
That was like years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now?
Oh, poor Natsuki. I told you I was joking. Besides, it's a good reminder of how far you've come since then. Not to mention, you couldn't have done it without us. That gives us a pass to joke about it. I want to see their faces, though. They did like a shadow of them. I wish we could see an actual design of some sort, even if it's more generic. Yeah, sure. They grow up so fast, it brings a tear to my eye. Natsuki suddenly glances in Monika's direction, prompting Monika to quickly turn away and distance herself. Poor Poor Natsuki, dude. I hate that. That's so frustrating.
What the heck? That was horrible. I should have said something to defend her. Why do I have to be so conflict avoidant? Not that I deserve to say anything. I'm hardly better than them after the way I treated her. I'm so awful. I'm not doing anything right.
Aw, poor Natsuki, dude. I feel bad for her. After school ends, Monica distractedly makes her way to the club room. She finds Yuri already inside, eyes on a book as usual. Monica picks a desk and slumps into it, something she seems to be doing rather often lately.
Yuri, I don't think I can be club president. I suck at handling anything that doesn't go, like, exactly my way.
Yuri looks up from her book. It's like the literature club is a place where you get to express yourself unless it's in the way that I don't like, so I'm mad at myself. And I'm especially mad that I didn't have the self-reflection skills to realize what I was doing. So much for maturity. Sorry, I really shouldn't be complaining out loud like this. There's just like a ton on my mind. No. Huh? I enjoy listening. Really? Uh-huh. Why? Yuri shrugs. It just makes me feel nice. Aw. Just opening up to each other, you know? Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll just continue then. Yuri nods. Yeah, well, Natsuki has kind of a blunt attitude, you know? It makes me feel like she wasn't taking the club seriously. I couldn't even figure out why she wanted to join. I saw her friends talking to her in the hallway during lunch, and they're just so mean to her. Telling her to grow up and stuff like that the literature club would help her grow out of her manga. It just made me so mad, like, just let her enjoy it. It makes her happy. Why are you trying to take that away from her? And when I had that thought, it was when I came to the realization that I was kind of doing the same thing, just in a roundabout way. I should have made her feel good about being passionate about something, but I just dismissed it. No, I was actually trying to avoid acknowledging it at all. I even did that with you, Yuri, when you first joined the club. You did? Yeah, I remember fantasy isn't really my thing, so I was kind of trying to dismiss it, but then Sayori jumped in and took over the conversation. I should have reflected on that, but I didn't because I just let Sayori handle it instead. And now I'm repeating the same mistake, except I really hurt someone this time. I didn't even notice that. Monica shakes her head. I'm so tired of being afraid of things I'm not comfortable with. It's so stupid. Like I can just picture how much joy it would bring Natsuki if I let her share her passion a little. I'm so angry that her friends are treating her like that. I'm going to get them back for it. Get them back? I'm gonna murder them. Yeah, I just became sentient. Oh wow, really? I'll get them back by making sure that this is the literature club that Natsuki wants, not the one that they want. Suddenly, Sayori bursts through the door, making Monica and Yuri jump. With a rare, stern face, she marches over to Monica's desk and sits down next to her.
I'm having an intervention. I can do that because I'm vice president.
Is this about Natsuki? Yes. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm super sorry. I was just talking to Yuri about it.
Really?
I was so dismissive of her passion that she felt threatened and probably just unwelcome. Literally the opposite of what the literature club is supposed to be. I really need to make it up to her.
Oh. Yay, I did it! Yay! Mission accomplished!
Thanks for the intervention, Sayori. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Friendship wins again! This is just like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Me and Natsuki were reading that earlier. So how do you want to make it up to her?
I have a plan. Sayori, did you know if Natsuki is coming to the club meeting today?
I don't think she is.
I see. Monica was afraid of that, not because of her plan, but because she's facing the consequences of the damage that she's inadvertently caused. But the only way to do the right thing is to face it head on. It's so easy to just duck away from the conflict and wait for it to blow over, but that's not enough. To truly respect someone's feelings after you've hurt them is to face them and admit your wrongdoings. Not the wrongdoings of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of disrespecting Natsuki's feelings. Okay, do you think you can get her to come to the meeting tomorrow?
I can do that!
Okay, awesome. Yuri, you don't have to worry about anything, but thank you for being my friend. You're a good listener. Aw. Fidgeting with her hair, Yuri turns away to hide a smile. Yuri's so cute when she gets all flustered like that. Well, I guess for today, it's going to be a pretty quiet club meeting. I'm going to step out for a bit. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna read with Yuri. Hey, is this one of Natsuki's books? How come it's out here?
Sayori picks up a manga that was resting on an adjacent desk. Oh, Natsuki probably just left it out by accident. Come on, you're reading it.
But I thought she hadn't been coming to the club.
Actually, Monica has been. Okay, Yuri. I'm sure it was just someone else who was using this classroom then. Okay. Why are you so embarrassed? Monica smiles at them both. Then with a wave, she exits the club room.
Why does nobody like manga?
I really shouldn't have left that out. If Sayori catches on, she'll definitely tell Natsuki and that would get really awkward. I guess maybe it would be awkward like if Natsuki knew that like I don't know, somebody was going through her stuff. Maybe she'd get like embarrassed or something. I guess that could be what she's worried about.
Now I wonder if there's a keyboard I could borrow from the music room.
Oh yeah, we can see maybe the piano she, you know, wrote the song on and stuff. Nope. Okay. The time for the next club meeting has already arrived. Monica and Yuri are the first to arrive. I'm so worried. Do you think Sayori is going to be able to bring Natsuki? Yes. How do you know? Well, she's Sayori. You know, you're right. Time slowly passes. Monica sits, then stands up to pace around, then sits again. Yuri's eyes don't move from her book. Then the door finally opens. Sayori marches inside. Behind her, Natsuki shuffles inside, nervously looking around the room. We're here! Welcome back. Monica, the club president, stands up and greets them with a smile. Sayori picks a desk and takes a seat. Natsuki sits closely next to her. Awkward. Pause. Looking back and forth between the club members, Monica is struck with a nostalgic feeling. She would stand at the front of the club room just like this, struggling to picture just who may eventually be sitting before her. But imagination was never enough to predict how unique and diverse each member would be. Each with their own struggles, her own reasons for seeking the vision that Monica had, admittedly so vaguely advertised. Seeking trust, understanding, respect. What new lessons will the future hold for the literature club? They're there in the side story section. Realizing she's getting ahead of herself, Monica takes a deep breath and returns to the present. Okay, everyone, the literature club is starting. We have an activity planned for today. Monica turns around to face the chalkboard. I feel like she should... Okay, this is the apology then. I was like, you should apologize to her. On it, she writes manga in big letters. Today, we're going to learn from an expert about a unique form of literature, manga. Oh, come on. You're sucking up to me. Isn't this kind of forced? I know you don't actually want to do this, so just... Monica shakes her head. Natsuki, this is the hardest part. After making it this far, it would be so easy to just smile and move on. That's not enough. Not this time. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to not take you seriously when you were kind enough to show interest in my club. I thought about it and I realized how biased I was against manga. It caused me to disrespect you and I'm sorry, but I think you deserve to be able to share your passion with us. So, can I make it up to you? Well, thanks, but I know you're only doing this because Sayori told you to. Wait, that's not true. Monica planned this all by herself. I didn't even get a chance to talk to her. I was witness to that as well. This is the literature club. The literature club is a place where everyone gets to be themselves. We all have our own interests and our own differences. It's my vision to let us freely express that, and it's my goal to respect everyone for them. So I just want to learn about the things that make you happy. I think that you deserve to share that joy as much as everyone else does. Is that okay? Natsuki looks away and hesitates. But it's really dumb, the stuff I'm into. Aww, Monica smiles. She kneels in front of Natsuki's desk, looking her straight in the eye. If you like it, then it's not dumb. Oh, except for me. Sayori, you're not dumb either. Yes, I am. Okay, calm down, Sayori. What the heck? You guys are so weird. Fine, I'll show you some of my manga. Only because you admitted that it's literature after all. Are we allowed to show some of the smutty stuff? No, not that. Natsuki stands up. Oh yeah, I didn't say this before, but I'm actually into writing too. I'm kind of a pro, but I didn't want you to like me just for that. Wow, really? I mean, I did have you all wrong, Natsuki. Yeah, whatever. Today's not about that anyway, right? Today's about manga, so I hope you're ready. Aw, cute. A week has passed since Natsuki returned to the literature club. Since then, the club activities have been in full swing. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. As another meeting draws to a close, Monica approaches Natsuki on the way out. Natsuki, are you in a hurry home or anything? Me, not particularly. Why? Oh, there was something that I wanted to show you if you had a few minutes. Sure, what is it? It's not in here. Can you follow me to the music room? The music room? Why? Well, you'll see. Oh, here we go. Yay, we get to see the music room. Oh, it makes me think of Kaede. I miss you, Kaede. You know, I was thinking back. When the club was just me and Sayori, we would talk about how we envisioned the club to turn out. We cared a lot about it being a place where people could express themselves. And she said something strange to me. She said that I was trying to make the club that I needed myself more than anyone else. But I think it wasn't until you joined that I fully understood that. Because you really taught me a lot about myself, like things that I was probably always too stubborn to admit. Oh, come on, you can't mean that. I didn't even do anything. I just like brought a bunch of manga and then I got fussy when I didn't have my way. It was really stupid of me to make such a big deal out of it. No, honestly, I needed it. If you didn't express that you were hurt, I would never have realized that I did something wrong. Besides, your feelings are valid. They deserve to be heard and respected. It's just really hard to feel that way sometimes. You know, like, I really shouldn't care about what other people think in the first place, but when you're just criticized by everyone around you for being a certain way, it can get really hard to just brush it off. And it makes me start to feel like I'm the problem. Like, I'm not doing enough to please everyone else. Am I being too entitled if I just want people to like me without having to hide a bunch of stuff about myself? I don't think I am. I just wish that sometimes people would try to appreciate me for who I actually am. Yeah, all these characters really are so relatable. I feel like I can relate to all of them for like different reasons, you know? Like, I feel you, Natsuki. I feel you being picked on. As Monika listened, she recalls vividly how Natsuki's friends were treating her and how naturally they did so. That was so mean. How long has she been fighting against that, refusing to change for others? I guess because she's so like small and cute too, they kind of feel like, oh, I don't know. She's like an easy target, maybe. I can only wish I was as strong as you are, Natsuki. You're so honest with yourself. I'm like always trying to come off as perfect for other people. Anytime there's a hint of contention, I just crumble. But it's thanks to you that I really started thinking about this stuff. You really inspired me to start working on it. But well, like I said, I didn't even do anything. You were just being yourself. That's all you need to do. Also, there is something else. Huh? Monika takes a breath. The thing is, I might have read a little bit of your manga. What? What the heck? You didn't tell me? I'm sorry. I think I just felt like kind of embarrassed to admit it after I gave you such a hard time about it. I can't believe you, of all people, were reading manga behind my back. That's so funny. Yeah, well, I just flipped through one of them out of curiosity, but I ended up reading a whole bunch of it. But I mean, one of the characters was in a literature club. What are the chances, right? You're reading Parfait Girls? Wow, you have good taste. And just one volume. And I kind of just picked it out randomly. Well, you have good intuition then. You have to tell me about your favorite parts. Well, I think it was some kind of weird fate, because the character isn't just in a literature club, she also plays piano. It's just weird because I've always wanted to learn piano. She was like the perfect person that I always wish I was, if I just did what I wanted instead of always second-guessing myself. Aw, it's so cute. Monika walks over to the piano and sits down. Yay, we get to see her playing piano. I always felt like I should only share the absolute best parts of myself, the parts that will impress people or make them like me more. But after you joined the club, I really realized how self-destructive that mentality is. We share things because we want to express ourselves. Sharing experiences allows us to share emotions. And I just felt like I wanted to show you this, because if it wasn't for you, I would never have started playing. Aw, she wrote a song? Hey, I think the credit for that one goes to Parfait Girls and not me. No. Well, maybe it's true that Parfait Girls put the thought into my head, but it was still you who inspired me to keep practicing every day. Every day? Because, you know, you just make me feel like if I want to do something, I should just do it. I mean, I still haven't been practicing for very long, and I'm really not good at it yet, like at all, but I wrote a song for the club, and I worked really, really hard on it. It doesn't have any words or anything, but, well, yeah. Oh, it's probably the da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Aw, cute. Or is this one? I'm trying to think of when this song is played elsewhere in Doki Doki. Aw, it's so cute. Good to see her playing it. Aw. These side stories are so cute so far. It's like a little halfway point in them too. Kind of go through all the events and see everything that's happened. Yuri being all shy. Very interested to see her interactions with Natsuki, because they butt heads so much. That's probably why it's the last one. It's the most explosive of these. Aww. I'm glad Sayori was nice to Natsuki at least. I'm sure that helped a lot with her like actually wanting to come back. It was actually really good for just learning piano. I wish I could play piano. She said she wasn't very good, so I kind of expected her to not be very good, but this is like amazing. Granted, I don't know much about piano, but sounds really good to me. Aw, cute. Yay. That's all. That was so good. It was? Yeah, are you kidding? You're like already a pro. Not even close. Does the song have a name? You said it was about the club, so yeah. It's called My Song, Your Note, because everyone brings something so unique to the club. It's completely different from how I first imagined it, I think. But I was like such a selfish perfectionist. It shouldn't be about me. It should be about everyone else. And it's all of you who helped shape the club into what it is. I would never change that. Well, I think that's really thoughtful and kind of flattering. I kind of feel like I don't deserve this much validation. Aw, yes you do, Natsuki, yes you do. I wasn't exactly very patient either when I first joined the club. It makes me feel like I should probably apologize too. I don't know, I guess I don't really blame her for being so hostile, seeing how like bullied she was, you know? It's like, I get it, she just wants to put on a tough exterior. I think I was just really fed up with a lot of things and I got frustrated after not getting my way in the club, and I feel like Monica was being like pretty passive aggressive from the beginning. So yeah, I really didn't mean to take it out on you. I was being really immature. If you get my stubborn butt to apologize, I guess you're doing something right. It's fine, I'm past it too. I think we're already even. But it's really sweet that you're thinking about it. It takes a lot of maturity to reflect on that kind of thing. Well, I wonder who I got it from. Oh, never mind. I guess she's talking about how Monica reflected, you know, and realized she was being immature, so I guess it's kind of the same thing. Well, anyways, even as long as you let me keep my manga in the club room. You did admit that it's a form of literature. You totally can't take that back now. You got me. The closet's all yours. I'll tell you what, I'll bring a little something for the club tomorrow. I want to do something nice in return. Oh yeah, the cupcakes. What kind of little something? Oh, you'll see. But I don't think you'll be disappointed. Aww. The next club meeting ends up being a particularly tasty one. Aw, that's cute. Yay. Yay, mail too. Yes. Oh my god. What's going on, Ive? Okay, who's responsible for creating a Twitter account for Monica? Oh my god. For those of you who don't know, Monica does have a Twitter account. I think I follow her on Twitter. She just kind of posts random stuff on there sometimes. I think it's hilarious. For God's sakes, don't tell Paula. I would get 404 in a microsecond. Are you just relaying her tweets manually, or did you code some kind of pass-through layer to automate it? Based on the contents of the tweets, e.g. not screaming for help, I assume they're coming from the control simulation. Oh no, she is being like tortured or something. Let me look at her Twitter account. Little Monica X3, that's her Twitter account. Hi, I'm Monica, high school devil and president of the Literature Club. Poetry is life, X3. Okay, she has some poems on here too. I bet there's some kind of hidden stuff on here. I hadn't really looked at this in a while. Oh my god, I can't believe they brought up her Twitter account. That's hilarious. Poor Monica though, man. Not screaming for help, man. Poor Monica. Side story, respect too. Yay, new wallpapers. Cute. Oh, she looks so cute. Oh yeah, the music room. Yay. Oh, we get one more room. The festival. Will I ever see the festival? Probably not ever. Oh well, it's so sad. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will continue with the rest of the side stories and the files in the next part. Yeah, this has been super fun. It's really cool to see them extending the lore a bit too. I don't totally understand what exactly is going on, but I think my theories make sense. You guys can let me know in the comment section, and let me know, I guess, if you guys want to correct me on anything too. But please, 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 no spoilers. I am playing this blind, and I would like to try to figure out things on my own before, you know, kind of, you know, deep dive that other people have done. So just let me know if there's anything like surface level I'm getting wrong, I guess. But yeah, thanks guys for watching the video. Please leave a like or a comment if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you're interested in Doki Doki or more content like this. Let me know if you guys would be interested in like Doki Doki analysis videos. I feel like these characters would be good characters to do like analysis videos of, like especially like Monica. I think would be a really good character to kind of like delve into, but especially now that we're getting like more context about their personality relating to like the literature club story, at least, or you know, whatever simulation they're in. I think I could do like a more in-depth take on, you know, their personality and their backstory and stuff like that. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. But yeah, thank you guys once again for watching, and I will see you guys real soon.